Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world.
So today we're going to do something a little different. We're taking Lois Lowry's classic novel, The Giver. But we're not going to treat it as literature. We're going to treat it as a blueprint. We're going to reverse engineer its society to see it as a case study, a masterclass in how to build a totally, completely stable society.
All right, so how does a system like this actually function? To really get it, you have to start with its core operating principle, the foundational idea that everything else is built on.
And that idea is called sameness. Now, this isn't just about conformity, it's a full-on governance model. Its one and only job is to systematically eliminate anything that could possibly introduce unpredictability. That means no hills, no changing weather, no color, and most importantly, no deep, messy human emotions or any memory of the past.
And this quote really gets to the heart of the matter. See, sameness wasn't a tyranny forced on people. It was a trade-off. It was a choice that was made generations and generations ago. They willingly traded the chaotic, beautiful, terrible richness of human experience, all the highs and all the lows, for absolute predictable control.
So, that begs the question, right? What could possibly incentivize an entire civilization to make a trade-off that profound? To understand that, we need to look at what's really driving the whole system.
The primary driver is actually pretty simple: the total elimination of pain. And that means getting rid of risk, uncertainty, and failure. Every rule, every ritual, from the job you're assigned to the spouse you're given, is all engineered to stop conflict before it can even begin. The entire society is built on this one incredibly powerful promise: a life without pain.
And once you grasp that, the system's logic just snaps into place. It's like a set of equations. If you want total safety, you have to eliminate individual choice. If you want perfect stability, you have to get rid of human error. And if you want absolute order, you have to suppress raw, unpredictable emotion.
So the crucial thing to understand here is that the system is designed to protect people from themselves, from the so-called dangers of their own humanity. And that leads to a very specific, very carefully engineered result. To really get our heads around this, let's try a metaphor. Think of this society as having an incredibly advanced climate control system, but it's not for the weather. It's for the human experience. It's managing the entire emotional and psychological environment.
With this system running, the emotional temperature is always perfect. There are no storms of passion, no winters of despair. But in eliminating the seasons of life, you also eliminate the warmth of summer. You lose genuine joy, profound love, and the kind of growth that only comes from getting through something tough. Everything is flattened into a comfortable but totally sterile baseline.
And this emotional regulation is enforced by some pretty meticulous tools. One of the most powerful is what they call the precision of language. You see, words that carry deep, powerful, ambiguous feelings, words like love, are systematically hollowed out until they're basically meaningless, obsolete.
And this control starts early with chilling efficiency. The story of Asher, who got punished with a discipline wand as a toddler just for mixing up snack and smack, well, that's not just about correcting a simple mistake. It's about conditioning the mind from the very beginning to follow the system's logic. It's about making sure that thought itself only runs on approved, predictable tracks.
But this raises a huge question. How can a system that takes so much away actually last for generations? Why don't people realize what they've lost and, rebel? The way this system sticks around is kind of genius, in a terrifying way. It removes collective memory. All the memories of pain, war, choice, color, and love, the entire history of what it means to be human, are taken from the population and downloaded into just one person, the receiver of memory.
And this is what creates the core problem: a true crisis in perception. It's actually quite simple. If you have no memory of seasons, you can't miss the summer. If you have no memory of what real choice feels like, you don't feel its absence. The people are insulated from their own history, and this baseline of engineered safety completely hides the massive scale of what's been sacrificed.
So why does any of this matter? Because this fictional blueprint, it's not really just happening in a vacuum. It actually works as a powerful lens, reflecting some very real patterns and tendencies in our own complex world.
You can see echoes of this system's logic in the push for technocratic governance, where expert-driven efficiency is often prized more than messy, individual liberty. You see it in the use of sterile, bureaucratic language to manage complex human problems, and you definitely see it in risk minimization cultures, where safety and predictability are put above all other values, sometimes at the cost of freedom and innovation.
Crisis in Perception examines how systems shape belief and how better tools help us see clearly. This project is free and publicly accessible. If you'd like to support the time, tools, and research behind Crisis in Perception, you can become a supporter on Patreon.
For a longer, audio-based analysis of this topic, see the deep dive linked in the description.
If you enjoy this kind of systems-level analysis, please like, subscribe, and comment with books or topics you'd like us to explore next.